and welcome to Cavs Daily, your one-stop shop for everything Cavaliers related, the good, the bad, the tonight, which is ugly, ugly stuff. We still talk about it here on a daily basis. I'm your host, Paul Williams. Appreciate you guys being here with me today. Before we get into the stuff that we kind of just have to talk about even after a frustrating loss, if you could, please join the channel, subscribe, like, comment, engage, all that type of stuff. Really helps us out and means a lot. If I have to earn it first, watch the video, and then hopefully I could get that sub. With that out the way, let's get to the not fun stuff tonight. The Cavs went into Boston with a 3-1 record tonight, playing the Celtics on ESPN, and while it started pretty good, it just wasn't the Cavs' night in the end as they fall 125-105 to the Boston Celtics. And while Jaylen Brown, the guy you would expect to be the main culprit of anything big the Celtics do, he did have 30 points and led the way in the scoring column. But the majority of that came in a 3-minute span in the second quarter, which was the span that changed the game. But still, it felt like it was really the others that ultimately killed the Cavs in this game. Guys like Josh Manette having 11 points and 14 rebounds when he wasn't even getting playing time for the first couple years of his career and first couple games of this season. All of a sudden, he's making a huge impact in 33 minutes. Queta had 10 and 13 for the Celtics. Sam Hauser in the first half just went absolutely insane, ended with 21 points for the Celtics. And then I think Anthony Simons had 14. Luka Garza had 10 points and 5 rebounds. So just seemed like all of their role players had one of the better nights of their career, and it all culminated in a tough loss for the Cavs, who was kind of weird. We had a lot of guys scoring double figures. No one broke 20 points for the first time this season. For the first time this season, Donovan Mitchell did not score 20. He finished with just 15 points, which he accumulated in the first 14 minutes of the game. By the time he checked out in the second quarter for a breather at around the 9-minute mark, he already had those 15 points. So he went almost 3 quarters scoreless in this game. Weird game from him as he ended up a late add to the injury report as he was listed as questionable with some groin tightness. Did end up playing, and in the first quarter, looked like his usual Boston Celtic killer self. He came in with the highest average in NBA history against the Celtics. Looked like he was going to live up to that and more early in this game as he hit his first 5 shots, which all happened to be 3-pointers, including a buzzer beater to end the first quarter that gave the Cavs a 42-40 lead. Unfortunately, that would be about it as far as what we would see and get from Donovan Mitchell. He sat for a long time in the second quarter. The Celtics made a big run. And then in the second half, I appreciated how he came out, and you could tell he was trying to set the tone with rebounding and a few issues that the Cavs are having. But he just didn't have it. Turned it over a lot. Could not hit a shot. Only took 12 shots. So weird night for him all around, and just isn't really what you want to see from your star player in a game in a tough environment like it was in Boston. Like I said, the Cavs did have the lead after the first quarter, and honestly, it was a 4-minute span in the second quarter that doomed the Cavs, and that was the difference in this game. The Cavs had a 57-55 lead with just over 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. From then on out, the Cavs got outscored 20-2 for the rest of the half, and that just pretty much ended things right there. The Cavs ended up going into the half trailing 75-60 and could just never really claw all the way back. They managed to, after the Celtics built the lead up to 19 points, Cavs managed to get it down to 9 and 10 a couple times, especially in the fourth quarter. They made a few pushes, but were never able to get into real striking distance. And every time they did get it within single digits, the Celtics made a couple shots and it went right back up to double digits. But the biggest thing in this game, besides the Celtics, others, and Donovan having an off night, the same problems we've had all year and that we've already been screaming about here on Cavs Daily, rebounding and fouling. We're going to have to clean those things up. That's what honestly killed us again in this game, and to me was the biggest reason we lost for sure. The Cavs were out-rebounded 22-13 in the first half, which kind of set the tone for the game. Also, points in the paint. Boston outscored the Cavs 18-9 in the first half, which was vital because both teams were looking to kind of assert their dominance in the paint, and the Celtics really had their way there. The Cavs also were fouling way too much. It seemed like every single quarter of the game, the Celtics got into the penalty early and were shooting free throws for half the quarter because the Cavs were just committing so many lazy fouls that were just unnecessary hand checks and bailout fouls when a guy looked like he might be getting past one of our defenders. So rebounding and fouling was, again, to me, what doomed the Cavs. Just something we're going to have to clean up at some point, and hopefully sooner rather than later. I do think we have a lot of things that organically can help with those issues, but they are issues that we are going to need to clean up. The final numbers were a little closer in those departments, but that's kind of, I don't want to say fool's gold, but it's deceiving because if you watch this game, it's clear those are two of the biggest issues the Cavs had, along with just letting too many guys like Sam Hausers and the Manettes of the world to get clean open shots to help them build confidence, and then once they hit a couple, continuously allowing them to still get clean looks. Derek White, I don't think really killed us in this game. He did have 19 points, but that was only on 5 of 20 shooting and 3 of 12 from the three-point land. Derek White, I know I've thought this for a long time and talked about it when we were talking about preseason rankings. I think he's super overrated. He fell into the perfect situation with the team around him in Boston the past few years, and it really just highlighted what he's good at. But I don't think he's a top 40, top 35, top 30 player in the league like many were talking about this offseason. I think he's a really good role player and can be a great role player in the perfect situation, which I think was the Celtics the last couple of years. But early on in this season, it's really showing exactly what I thought. When more responsibility falls on him and he has to do more in order to win, he just hasn't looked great. The shots he takes aren't great shots, and while he's putting up decent point totals, it's on really bad efficiency, and he's shooting the worst percentages so far of his career. So just wanted to point that out. Derek White doesn't scare me at all, and I think the first 5 games of this season are just helping validate the fact that he's been sorely overrated. But that's just a side piece. I don't even know why I got so into that. The point is the Cavs lost, fouling, rebounding, and a 4-minute span in the second quarter were the main reasons that happened. Now, what went wrong in this game is pretty much exactly what I just talked about. The Cavs just really let the Celtics dictate the pace of this game, the style of this game, the physicalness of this game, all of that. And a lot of it just came from out-hustling us, being in better positions for rebounds, and being willing to really go after it and put your body on the line for rebounds. And then on the other side of the ball, just playing straight-up honest defense without fouling, sliding your feet, and using the fundamentals of basketball to force the opposing team to hit a tough shot. Like, if they make the shot, fine, but let's not bail them out with free throw after free throw, which again happened tonight. So those, in my eyes, were the main things, and just a weird game shooting wise for the Cavs and Donovan Mitchell. A lot of the first half, the Cavs were out shooting the Celtics by 10% field goal wise, 56% to 46%, and 10% on 3-point shooting, 42% to 32%. That all flipped by the time the game was over, and the Celtics shot a little bit better overall. But it was really eye-catching to see the Cavs shooting so much better, but still trailing in the game. And I think that just really highlights the rebounding and the second chance points and the free throw shooting that we're allowing other teams to take advantage of. Those second chance points are killer, especially in a tough environment on the road when you're already a bit short-handed. You just can't have it. And I think that second quarter run that did ultimately change the game and give the Celtics the game, I think the biggest reason for that was them getting second chances and a bunch of offensive rebounds and already being in the penalty and going to the line, helping some of their guys get going from shooting free throws like Jaylen Brown. He had a slow first quarter, got a couple of free throws, got a shot to go, and all of a sudden he dropped 16, I think, in the second quarter, which helped put the game away for the Cavs. So, yeah, it's just the same shit we've been talking about. We have to be better when it comes to being physical and rebounding the basketball. We have too many guys that can rebound the basketball at a high level not to, especially when we have guys like DeAndre Hunter really chipping in more than he normally does and more than we probably should expect from him, having 6 again tonight. We just have to do better overall, and some of it is luck and just the way the ball bounces. But those are things that went wrong tonight, and those are the things the Cavs are just going to have to improve on, period, point blank. And it needs to happen soon because it is frustrating to see us let games slip away and let them look like blowouts when really they were games we could have and should have won, but we let the other team take advantage of some of our downfalls and our shortcomings and ultimately losing games that I think we should win. But let's get off of all the negative stuff for a minute and talk a little bit about some of the positives from the game for the Cavs. I think one of them that stood out to me was the fact that all the starters did score at least 15 points. While, we still lost, and some of those performances weren't on great efficiency or were still below what we would want, like for Donovan Mitchell, for example, who had the least amount of points for any starter for the Cavs today, which is kind of crazy. Jalen Tyson actually was the co-leader in scoring for the Cavs tonight, and he's one of my big positives as he finally broke out and played a pretty good game. Still have some things we need to talk about, but he did have 19 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and 3 steals. So round of applause for him. I'm glad he was finally able to get off the snide and really get his shot to start falling. He also made a couple 3-pointers and just looked way more comfortable out there tonight than he has in the previous 4 games. Evan Mobley didn't finish with a bad line of 19 points and 11 rebounds to go along with 4 assists. And while his efficiency wasn't there, I do appreciate the fact, again, that he is being more aggressive. And he's also facilitating a lot more. He had 4 assists again, and he's had numerous games now with at least 4 assists this season, which is great to see. And if he's going to continue to do that, once his shot starts falling more consistently, which I think it will, it's going to be a scary sight. So I think overall that was still a positive for the Cavs. And I also think Craig Porter and DeAndre Hunter were both pretty positive outcomes for the Cavs tonight. Craig Porter had 7 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds in 22 minutes and just did what he's done all year. Just play scrappy, hustle, make it hard on the opposing guards that he's guarding. And then DeAndre Hunter had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. He did take 17 shots, and none of the Cavs shot super efficient tonight, but I actually like the fact that he was being so aggressive and trying to kind of take it upon himself to help get the Cavs going. I don't mind that, and I want to see more of it. So those are some of the positives that we saw from the Cavaliers tonight. And to wrap up tonight's episode, just want to talk a second about Thomas Bryant, who I was really excited about the fact we brought him aboard, even though it was very late in the offseason. And I'm hoping that's the reason he hasn't really been getting any playing time yet. But yeah, he hasn't been getting any playing time yet, like at all. I mean, he's played garbage time minutes in 2 games, and it's been a coach's decision to not play at all in the other games. I honestly thought he'd be a guy that would at least be getting 8, 10, 12 minutes most games. Maybe it's because him coming on board so late, he's still getting acclimated, and Kenny Atkinson just doesn't feel comfortable putting him out there in important moments yet. But I just think there's a spot for him out there, especially with the fact that we're struggling so much with rebounding and second chance points, and sometimes just playing with the amount of energy that is needed to sustain the level of winning we want to do. I think he can help in all those categories, and I really hope he gets a chance to show that, especially when guys like Jared Allen are only playing, I think, 25 minutes tonight. Jared Allen played. There's got to be a few minutes for Thomas Bryant, and I don't mean the minutes with 2 minutes left when we pull all our starters and the game's over. I mean some high leverage minutes, like maybe a few minutes in the second quarter could have helped the Cavs keep the Celtics off the glass a little bit, keep them from building that momentum, getting some extra loose balls and some extra hustle points. I think Thomas Bryant can help in all of those categories. Of course, he's no world beater, and there's a reason he was still available that late in the offseason, but there's also a reason he played for a team that went to the championship last year. He's been coveted by numerous teams in this league, and he's established himself as a guy who can be a difference maker off the bench in this league. So I'm just really hoping that we give Thomas Bryant a shot. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and I'll take the L on that, and the Cavs can move on. It's not really going to hurt them. But exactly that. It's not going to hurt them. There's no real downside at this point, especially early in the season, dealing with some guys in and out of the lineup. Let's see what we have there. See if he could bring a little boost to the second unit, who I think has been playing really well. I'm not mad at the way the bench has been playing. I just think that there is room for Thomas Bryant to maybe come in and bring some of the things that he's good at and known for, like hustling and energy and leadership, communication on the court. All those things I think could help the Cavs right now, especially early on as we try to figure out who we are and build our new identity. I'd love to see Thomas Bryant be a part of that. I wonder how you guys feel about that. Do you want him in the rotation? Do you even care? Let me know down low. Also, let me know about how you feel about this game. Was it just a fluke? Are the Cavs fine? Or were there some things that we need to worry about from this game? Let's talk about that on tomorrow's episode as we'll prep to put this game behind us and get ready for our games this weekend. For now, I'm going to wrap things up. As I just said, I will be back tomorrow with another banger for you guys. And until then, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.